Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto Byte. Today is December 1st. It is Wednesday. Happy start of the month. Happy Rewards Day if you are on Voyager. Always nice getting those interest payments on the first of the month. But we are kicking off a new month here. Should be a very exciting month. We're getting some interesting price action in many of the assets we talked about yesterday. Luna continuing its climb to the upside. ETH still lingering around those upper channels we covered yesterday. But ultimately, we're looking set for a very, very exciting month of December here. So excited to be joining you guys as always with my co-host, Mr. CJ Reichel. CJ, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Monty. Excited for our webinar later at 12:30 Central Time. Nice to see some interesting and bullish price action to start the month of December as well. Now going up about close to 59K, but currently sitting at about 58,600 with all the major indices back up in the green today. SPX up 1%. Same with the Dow as well as IWM up 2.2%. So bullish start to the month here.
Yeah, you love to see it. A lot of people have been looking at this month of December all year as a month of parabolic price action. Currently, like you said, Bitcoin's still sitting below some critical levels, but ultimately here, we're ending up on the close of the year. Stock to flow model is still on track, so it should be a very, very exciting month here. But before we, really dive into any charts today, I want to start with some news headlines that I found pretty interesting. And let's start with this one here, a Thai crypto unicorn plots expansion in bid to be Asia's Coinbase. And this is one thing that we typically see. We saw it in 2017. Lots of new exchanges opening up in the West. And now at the end of this market cycle here, as crypto adoption continues to grow and acceptance continues to grow universally, we are starting to see exchanges receive massive valuations, excuse me, all across the world. And I think that these emerging markets in Asia and in Latin America are going to be a huge catalyst to further price appreciation and injections of massive amounts of capital into this space. And I thought this was a really interesting quote here from the CEO of this Thai-based company. I can't remember what they're called, BitCub Online. They got $1 billion plus valuation. And basically, he says, our strategy is to expand in countries that have no clear winners yet and are underbanked with high social media usage and the potential to use cryptocurrency for remittances. And, obviously, Asia checks a lot of those boxes, a very technologically advanced region of the world. And yet, many of their citizens remain unbanked. And, lots of, entrepreneurs, crypto entrepreneurs in the region see this as a massive opportunity to empower their citizens while also, building a massive company. Their goal is to become the Coinbase of Southeast Asia, and it's definitely possible given the fact that, like he points out, many of their citizens are underbanked, yet they have high social media usage, and also there is a high demand for remittance payments as many citizens live abroad in different countries, whether it be the United States or somewhere in Europe, and the ability to send remittance payments with low fees instantly is a market that is massively in demand in Asia. So keep an eye on this company, BitCub. They are, done with fundraising, set to be launching here soon, and I think that they could provide, a massive new on-ramp of capital in the Asian region. And on that same note, I want to talk about this one. This is 2TM, Mercado's Bitcoin holding company. They raised 50.3 million in their second round of Series B funding, and this is a Brazilian fintech, another unicorn. And this is in Brazil, and like I said, Latin America is another emerging market here that still massively underbanked, high technological advancement relative to their amount of people that are banked, and I think that further expansion of cryptocurrency exchanges and on ramps for people to invest their capital in these regions could be massive for crypto, Bitcoin, just the market in general. So this one of the largest fintech conglomerates in Latin America raised 50 million in Series B funding, and this is their Bitcoin holding company. So basically, they want to launch a Bitcoin holding company in Latin America that will service Brazilian and Argentinian and Chilean and Colombian markets, also Mexican markets as well. And yeah, like I said, this currently still a massively under participated in this market relative to, other regions of the world. So, they've seen significant growth this year. I expect that growth to continue, as do they. And that's why they've been able to, snatch up such significant funding here. So I just wanted to, showcase those couple of articles, because the growth is happening in other regions of the world. And I think that it really is just the beginning. We look at crypto in such a context of like Western development, but really, a lot of these countries are just getting started. And I think it could provide a tremendous amount of growth here in the coming months and years. So just wanted to bring that to your radar.
Thank you for that, Monty. Truly the beauty of crypto really adding financial inclusivity to a lot of people around the globe, especially the unbanked, because there are still billions that need that and need access to those services. And I think they're going to leapfrog them. I think they're going to go straight to crypto before any traditional bank. But then, we'll see.
And what's interesting too, CJ, is the first company, that Thai one, BitCub, they're actually majority owned by the main bank of Thailand. So yeah, I mean, some people, like you said, millions of people in Thailand are still unbanked. And I think even the banks in Thailand are realizing that, people may just skip that step and go past traditional financial institutions and go straight to crypto. So interesting stuff going on over there, but I'll pass it back to you.
So I want to move to another piece of news coming out of Bitcoin miner Bitfarms, ticker symbol BITF, up about 7% today, actually about 8 now off the open. But they mined 339 Bitcoin in November as the network difficulty increased. So if we go over to view a little bit about how the price action of that stock has been, they are emerging and they are trending, with Riot, Mara, as well as Hut 8 as one of those really premier miners. And I don't have any positions in this one, just disclosure, but quite a lot of volume occurring over the past couple months. So quite interesting. One of those that I've had my eye on. But yeah, good stuff coming out of Bitfarms for the short term. Monty, you had published this on our site yesterday, specifically about Grayscale, initially from the block, but Grayscale argues that the SEC's Bitcoin ETF treatment could violate the APA. So getting pushback from Grayscale, they want to turn their GBDC into an ETF product. And the interesting thing about the pushback is we'll see how effective it is, but the SEC is on the clock in terms of a decision in whether or not that could be passed in terms of like an ETF product, and that decision could come as early as December 24th, which may create some anticipation up to that date, potentially into the beginning of January. I think these ETF news and the speculation around ETF proposals has led to a lot of bullish price action. And then, once the rejection came like a couple weeks back, a lot of bearish price action. But it'll be interesting to see how this news cycle plays into the price of Bitcoin throughout later December. Also, more news in Grayscale, launching a dedicated trust to Solana. So further legitimizing Solana and allowing institutional participants to really get exposure to Sol. And of course, they won't be playing around in the Solana ecosystem with just an ETF or a trust. Nonetheless, it is very good for those players to be able to allow for that level of exposure. A lot of news today. We're going to move to the next item, which is surrounding Ethereum gas fees. And so Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin proposes new Ethereum improvement proposal to tackle Ethereum's sky-high gas fees. So we'll see how this proposal ends up. It has been met with some criticism, at least across Twitter, which is completely normal. But yeah, I mean, there's something needs to be done. I mean, we do have side chains like the Polygon network, with Matic Coin and whatnot, helping Ethereum scale, helping programs on Ethereum, like Decentraland scale. Nonetheless, Ethereum, it would be nice to be able to actually use MetaMask on the Ethereum network and not have to pay, $100 gas fees for a single transaction. So hopefully they can knock that out of the park and figure that out in the near term.
In the
Final piece.
meantime, oh, sorry, but like in the meantime, though, CJ, look at those gas fees, and you mentioned Polygon. Until ETH figures out those gas fees, it's like we've continually pointed out, it's benefited other assets like Polygon, like AVAX, like Luna, like Solana. It's benefited all of them tremendously. And, as you can see, Matic performing tremendously well today. Not surprising given the price action we saw from ETH yesterday. So, whenever you see that those gas fees increasing, it means there's opportunity elsewhere. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Strong point. And really nice to see Matic up. I know a lot of individuals hold that in our community, at least a few. And it's nice to see some bullish performance.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Oneinch, decentralized aggregator, closes a $175 million deal, or a Series B, aiming to serve specifically institutional customers, which is quite interesting because most of the DeFi lending services and the DAOs that we have currently available are mainly retail facing and are not geared towards specific institutional participation. So as institutions have more reliable avenues into DeFi, safer avenues into DeFi, where they can actually get DeFi insurance on certain deposits, I think will be very, very interesting. But you can read a little bit more about this protocol. A little bit of a front end showcase of the Oneinch protocol and how you can trade and do farming and different pools and things of that sort on the Oneinch protocol. But, as you can see, you have the Ethereum chain, but it's just not feasible to interact with these DEXs using Ethereum. It's more, favorable to either switch to BSC or Polygon because of they're extraordinarily fast and have very low fees. So.
Right on. Good stuff. Thank you for that, CJ. And just a reminder, today we'll be doing our weekly member webinar. And I'm really excited about today's episode. CJ, you're talking a little bit about DeFi there. And today we're going to be diving into a little bit more into the Terra ecosystem and how you can, start earning yield, start doing a little bit of farming over there. So we'll be doing that today at 11:30. CJ, all the farmers going to be coming out for today's webinar. Saw you share this yesterday with Bob in the chat. That's right. We're going to be teaching you how to farm in the Terra ecosystem. It's really interesting stuff. Lots of opportunity there. I know some of you are already familiar with how the ecosystem works, but we just want to go a little bit more in depth into that today. Also, I want to dive into some on-chain metrics. And as usual, we'll be taking your questions. That's at 11:30 Central. It's available to all our members, and we would love to see you there. But that's all we got for today's Doge of the Day. Any parting words, CJ, before we sign off?
Yeah, I just want to say the beautiful thing about these pools and becoming a liquidity provider and what we're going to show in the webinar today is that you can start with $10 or $15. You do not need hundreds or thousands of dollars to deal with things like you would on, the Ethereum network with gas fees and so forth. So that's really an interesting way. It's not even really investing at that point. It's more experimentation to just get a feel for the platform. And so we're going to be doing that live for you guys. And we're going to buy some tokenized SLV in honor of AJ Monty. So that'll be cool.
All right. Well, that's at 11:30 Central. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. You can sign up for it at marketrebellion.com/try crypto. You can try the first week for just $7. Also, thank you to Voyager for sponsoring this show. Enjoy your rewards today. Sweetest day of the month, getting that passive income. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you at today's webinar at 11:30 Central. Take care. See you soon.